Letha.
Marky Mark and the Funky Punch. I'm joking. Listen, first of all, we want to thank each and every one of you for allowing us to come into your homes and be a part of your life during this time. We're on episode 3, and I'm sick and tired of her and her. That's my guy right
All
there.
the way.
All day, every day, till the day I do.
Part of the crew.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna brush my teeth till we finish
Wait, what?
the whole series.
No, you're supposed to do this.
I'm coming with stank breath.
You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do this. I'm not gonna brush my teeth till we finish the house.
Air out your mouth.
Everybody gonna throw
We're going to need you now.
welcome to Joy Heart of Praise. We're gonna say welcome to Joy Heart of Praise. That's what we're gonna just say. And what we did know is, since we're in the 3rd episode, y'all don't know us. And so we're gonna start with Letha. Cause she's the shy one.
Bus, how you doing?
Yeah, Letha!
Introduce
yourself. Introduce yourself.
Now that I got run over by the bus.
Who is you?
It's a little bump of
I'm
space.
Letha. I got a whole bunch of kids. I got a husband.
You got a whole bunch of
She
husbands?
live in
No, I got a whole
a shoe.
bunch of kids.
And I live in a shoe.
I don't live in a
She
shoe. I know
has so
what to
many
do.
kids, and she don't know what to
That's
do.
not true. That's not true. I know what to do. Trust me.
Wait,
That's why you got so many kids. You're like, Mark,
That's
that's so wrong, Mark is.
I know it myself.
Go left. I didn't take
That's
that
close to
She took the bus
cussing.
and hit
That's
the gas.
close to cussing.
With the cattle.
That's what I've been run over.
That's
Straight
close to
leaning.
cussing. Marcus!
Wait, I was talking about the fact that I've been married for 7 years, since we're going to be doing our second part of marriage today. So yeah, I've been married 7 years, got a whole bunch of children that I love. My honey, love you, Joe. He's actually needs prayer right now. He's in the hospital, so all of you, if you can pray, you
Amen.
take all prayers. Thanks. That's all I got.
Marcus!
Or Marky Mark in the funky bunch.
He smells bad.
I like making his face when I say Marcus.
I'm just playing. He smelled himself. I'm just
He
playing.
didn't have to smell his
No, but I would tell him if
I
he's really
smell
close.
him.
I would tell him if he's
I
close.
smell him.
My name is Marcus.
He sounds so professional. My name
Yes.
is Marcus.
I'm married to Mimi Young. We have been married for 5 years, but I'm not new to this. I have over 20 years of marriage experience, and I'll explain what that means later on. We have, we all are, right. We have several children, and we have a blended family, which to me is a topic all by itself.
It definitely is.
Because
Absolutely.
honestly, the real moment here, I want to do a conference, and I'm telling you all my peeps, because with Geraldine and her way she thinks, I think we can pull it off. But I want to do a conference, a marriage conference, and it's for blended families, and it's going to be called Blended But Not Blended. Because I believe that blended family is a term that we use very loosely, and we never become truly blended. It's like we have this section is blended, this section, and we never really, and when I say what we don't understand is that blended family is affected not just by the ones in the house, but it's affected by everybody.
Everybody that's involved.
Everybody that's involved,
Everybody.
Grandparents, all that stuff,
Everybody.
you know?
Oh, yeah.
So you got a grandparent that comes and picks up they two. Do you get what I'm saying?
And the
And the other ones
is
get
just chilling
right,
on my
and
ground.
how they feel, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's the part that doesn't ever
They
become
focus
truly
on mom
blended.
and
But
dad.
guess what? It affects everybody.
Man.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
see, you got me
So-
already involved.
No, I
in
got
the
it.
topic.
I got it.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta get in.
Because
Uncle buys for
for real,
his
it-
nephew and niece and don't buy for all.
And that's
Uncle
something that's
ain't
really
really
close to
feeling
my
it.
heart
Yeah.
about how you make children feel when you
Without
isolate
even
them
thinking.
and not make them feel like in my family, there's no step, there's no half, there's no nothing. This is my brother, my sister, we don't do none of that stuff.
Right.
When we say blended, we for real mean blended.
Right.
That don't mean.
But does everybody else?
It's not a drop in
No,
the
now,
isolating.
Drop of blood.
You guys are
You see
isolating
it.
yourselves by just talking about your marriages, and we.
No, I'm jumping in though,
I
for the
just-
projects.
Oh, I'm sorry, sure, Go
You
ahead.
have a really large voice. I
Not loud, large.
I don't know what you
Your voice
mean.
is
I
large.
don't know what you mean. Ty.
No,
Ty.
I'm not ready. Pineapple.
Is that the same
I am the residential project kid. I migrated here from the great state of New York. Yonkers is my home city, where I lived, and I played in other cities in New York City, but I'm the resident ghetto kid that I really appreciate the life I have now, even though it's full of twists and turns and dramas and wonderfuls and not so wonderfuls. Married for the last 10 years to the greatest, most beautifulest, most wonderfulest, awesome sauce lady on the planet. She's my wife, my girlfriend, my side piece, my side chick, my ride or die, my homie, my get on my last green nerve, all of that stuff. And we have blended 2 other wonderful children into the 2 that I brought into that relationship. That dynamic was really interesting because I brought 2 children into the relationship that we have now, and so the blending was different.
Right.
And so it's been fun. 4 kids, 16 or 18. My son TJ's 18. My big girl Jada Wade is 16. Olivia's 8, and Tyler will be 4 in about a week. And so they have a different. You're talking about blending the kids. How do the kids respond?
Oh
Because
yeah.
my 2 big kids live on one side of the country, New York, and my 2 little kids live on, and they're with me all the time.
Right.
And my 2
Right.
big ones,
Yeah.
phone calls,
And that makes a
Facebook
difference
Live.
as
So you
well.
want to talk about some effects?
Oh yeah.
They got a
Positive effects
stepdad
for real.
right, over here, because their mom, she remarried. So they got a 2-parent family blending, because he had children.
Right.
And my wife was the only one that didn't have children coming in,
Yeah.
but she birthed 2 children to add to the blend.
Oh yeah.
So it's a bunch of different dynamics in there and life challenges, and we've done our best to kind of make the circle a circle.
Right.
And we still have rough patches though, right? We
Everybody
still have
does.
life events that make you scratch your head and wonder how you're gonna process it, but you gotta try. I always say if you ain't swinging for a home run, you just gonna stand there and strike out. That's pointless.
That's
At
right.
least swing, at least try something. So we tried. We try some crazy stuff. Well, I should say I try crazy stuff. My wife typically goes, all right, I'll be here to clean it up. You mess it all up, I'm here. I support you.
She closet crazy, because I've seen her.
She is closet
every now and
crazy.
then.
My wife is definitely
She
in the
look real
closet crazy.
crazy.
The only person that hears it is me. I am public crazy. I don't know how to do closet crazy. My wife is real good at, should I do this? I'd be like, should I have done that?
Past it.
I'm always asking for forgiveness rather than permission. I'm always on that end of it. But no, we've done it. We've done a pretty good job, and we've been blessed and fortunate to have help, to have met people who come from blended families and who are still trying, even after 25, 30 years of marriage, trying to blend their family.
Right.
And so we can refer
It doesn't
them.
always. It's not a quick fix. It's not.
No, it's
microwavable.
never.
It doesn't happen.
I thought it would.
No.
I thought because I was the man bringing the children, I was like, I'm a disciplinarian, snap my fingers,
I have a blended
everybody
family
gonna
of
rock.
8. Okay.
Whew,
So
you
my
got-
husband had 4.
Did you say 8 kids?
Yes, we have a blended
Y'all
family
are
of
like
8.
the Black Brady bunch.
For real. My
So
husband
they had
came
9
in
kids.
with 4. I had 2, and then we had 2 together. So we have total of 8.
When y'all gonna stop?
We're done.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I know you said replenish the earth.
that coffin.
She got an
She said replenish the earth, but it wasn't literally.
She
Like,
got an egg still somewhere up in there.
Yeah.
y'all putting
8.
in work.
From 21 down to 5.
Wait,
And I'm
you got
Geraldine.
kids that can drink and vote,
Right.
and one that can't even spell can vote.
And
I think Geraldine, you got siblings?
And I'm Geraldine.
Do you have siblings? Geraldine?
I do. I got
How many?
1 and a half.
Are you the oldest?
You don't have no dad.
Half a person.
I got a half.
You got
1 and a
a
half.
Are you the oldest or the youngest?
No, I'm the
No,
middle.
you just got
You're
2
the middle?
siblings. There's no half
That's
people.
why.
I'm
So
the
listen,
There's no
we have to be more
Yeah,
conscientious
there is a half.
of,
The middle child.
we have to be
There's a
more
half.
conscientious of Geraldine because she's a middle child.
That's
And
right.
so as a middle
I need
child,
to be loved.
yes.
All
So-
children need to be
I
taught.
need attention.
No, the middle,
Oh,
the
attention.
middle has it.
I'm a clown.
So,
I'm a written person.
everyone be quiet so that Geraldine can
Yes.
introduce herself.
He's so psycho.
I'm
She-
Geraldine. I'm Geraldine, and what I want to tell you about me is none of your business. No, I'm just kidding.
He created all that space for you, gave you the platform.
Is that none of your business?
This is all part of.
I don't want you to
embracing the
know.
moment.
Embracing the
This is
moment.
my, this is my time.
Yeah.
I'm Geraldine.
Hi,
I'm
Geraldine.
married.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Everyone clap for Geraldine.
Did anybody see that ball and chain dragging down? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I have
Bring a lot
a
to our
family as well. I brought 2 kids myself. I brought 2 puppies.
Oh, jeez.
I'm done with that. I brought 2 kids and a son and a daughter, and then my husband, when I married him, he had a daughter. So now we got a tree.
Tree.
Just tree.
Tree.
And I love it. One of those trees.
Kind of
A
branches.
tree. But
Whole tree.
I'm glad we're talking about marriage because marriage aspects of people come from different marriage backgrounds.
Right.
Me, I came from a mother and father that married, but by the time I turned 2 or 3, they were divorced. So because I was raised by a single parent, it was easy for me that when my man starts messing up or not acting the way I think a married man should act, is bye! Don't let the dog hit you with a good old split you. Seat you when I seat you. But evidently those people had parents like that too. So
It was easy for both of y'all.
them jokers just rolled out. No.
They
I
were
didn't
saying
try
bye
that
too.
work.
Bye, bye.
I was abandoned. I have abandoned.
You gonna put him on a marriage milk carton.
I had to,
Oh, you see
I got
this
to,
person.
yeah, because that's what happened. I came home from work, and yeah, he took all of his stuff.
I didn't know this. You never told me this story.
Yeah, and then some of mine too. I want that back. I want that back. Some of my stuff
You
too.
gotta let it go.
I'm gonna let it go.
It ain't coming back.
I'm gonna let it go like the movie. But so the husband I have now, he is a keeper. His parents were married until they passed away. And they had some situations in their marriage, but they stayed anyway and worked it out. And because they loved each other, not because they just, not gonna throw away a marriage. They actually loved each other. And so I say that because my husband that I have now, whenever we get into a spat at one time, earlier in the marriage, we're in our 11th year now. But in the early part of it, I was like, don't let the door hit you with a good illustration. I didn't have no problem with telling that brother, you can roll out. You ain't happy? You don't want to be here no more? I make you sad? You don't know why you upset every time you come home? Well, you don't got to come home. But on his behalf, he'd always say, let's talk it out. Let's work it out. I won't leave until, if I've had enough, then I will leave. But until then, I love you. I don't want to go anywhere. And that's where his parents and his upbringing comes in, which helped me because it helped us stay together no matter what. So that's another thing that I want to talk about in marriage. When is it time to just straight roll out?
So I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't say much on the last episode. Just wanted to kind of get a feel and understand where everybody was coming from. I believe that there has to be a level of balance in how people are instructed about what marriage is.
Yes.
Marriage is not, I'm doing 50% and you're doing 50%. Marriage is supposed to be, I'm doing 100 and you're doing 100.
For real.
I believe that we, as a culture, did not have a lot to hang on to from the beginning. And so that's why we invested so much in marriage. It was a way of trying to reverse what had been done. Think about this. Now, when you had a plantation, you had a plantation owner. If you go back and you would read the Willie Lynch letters, okay, he instructed them how to break a slave is not to hang them on a noose. He had a very strategic way and do that. He would bring everybody in one place. He would take the most masculine slave, tie him to 2 horses, hit him, and split him. What that did was it caused the mom slave, if she had any male children, she raised them to be weak. Because they never wanted the same outcome as what they just saw. Okay, then he went a step further and he said, this is how you made them. You take the ones with the best genes, take them away from their plantation to another plantation, and have them have sex with those slaves. And you breed them. But you make sure that they're never there when that child is born. You pull them away, okay? Now, the most profound thing he says in this whole letter is he says, if you do this right, it will take a phenomenon to break it. It will perpetuate itself. You won't ever have to fix it again. It will go over and over in its own cycle. And that's what I see our culture that deals with. We deal with men that go and have kids, don't stay around. We deal with women. He said, you make sure that the woman slave has no dependence on that male slave. They totally depend on you. So you have most black women. You don't hear Caucasian women make this statement. I can do bad by myself. No, that's all us. Why? Because he drilled them to say, you don't need him. So we have these cycles. So what now happens is we now come off of the plantations, we begin to grow, and guess what we try to grab a hold to? The one thing that was taken away from us. And that was our relationships with each other. And in doing that without proper information, then you will do more damage than you do good. There's a young lady, she's cooking a turkey. Okay? Her grandmother is in town. Her grandmother sees her in the kitchen and says, baby, I just noticed that you cut the end of the turkey off. She said, yeah, I've been doing it for years. She said, why? She said, because I watched you do it. She said, honey, the reason I did it is because my pan wasn't big enough. In other words, without the proper knowledge, we'll do the same thing without going back to understand why you was doing it in the first place. So for all these years, she was missing probably the best part of the turkey because of what she saw and didn't have an understanding about why they did. Now let's come to now. Many times we don't have any stick-to-itiveness about any of our relationships. And so you have preachers. Let's talk about the ones that are up and up.
Okay.
You have preachers scared to tell people that, you know what, that abuse, you don't have to take. Why? Because they're scared that the person will now take this information and the first argument they'll leave.
Yeah.
And some of the reasons, because like you just shared, is that that's what I saw. And so, no, I didn't see stick-to-itiveness in any relationship. So I know, trust me, I know how to get about.
That's all I know how to get about.
Is how to get about. I know how to take my kids. Because I'll tell you one of the most hurtful things is when you're in a blended family, you all have a spat. And you can see the kids disconnect.
Take side.
Okay? Why? Because they're used to, mama know how to get her ducklings up.
Yeah.
I got a video on my phone where all traffic is stopped, and I watched this mama duck walking, and every one of them ducks knew how to follow her.
By age. Yes.
They knew exactly how to follow her, and that happens in our homes, right? And so we don't have what your husband had, where he says, no, let's talk it out.
Yeah.
I've been married 3 times. I'm not proud of it. But what I will say is that it didn't have to happen.
Right.
I love my wife. Man, I got the best thing walking. Okay?
I agree with that.
I know, and I get it, and I respect that argument. You understand what I'm saying? I respect that argument. But here's the truth of the matter is, I could have made the first one work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I should have made and could have made the second one work. And if I never get to 3 and identify that I could have and should have made 1 and 2 work, there'll be a 4th.
Yep.
You understand? But we don't have that conversation. We don't
want to talk about that.
Talk about that.
Right, but you know what? We can't sit and talk because then somebody feels like, well, do you want to be back with him? No. It ain't about being back with him. It's about understanding where I messed up.
Right.
But that's about having a mature conversation and having that person ready.
Well, even more than that is mature teaching.
The reason why I'm saying that, because listening to my husband now and why him and his ex became exes, I went to him and said, are you sure y'all want to call it quits? Because what they called it quits for, I was like, I would have never called it quits for that.
That's easy.
Exactly. But mine's, now the crazy part is I have that personality of I can do anything by myself because I'm strong like that.
Because you saw that.
And I saw my mom doing it
by herself.
But I was left in both relationships. I mean, each time I came home from work, I was in Germany with the first one. He packed all of his stuff and rolled out. The second one, I was right here at Fort Lewis in Washington State.
Now
I
for
came home
JBLM.
from work, JBLM. But I came home and I said, hey, I'm home. Hello?
Should be
Hello?
laughing, but you
Hello?
making that sound so
I'm
funny.
just saying, that was Joe was gone.
That was a broke Karen Clark shear.
I'm
I'm sorry, Karen, but that was broke.
I was just mad because he didn't take the kids, so that I'm just saying.
So you took the Nintendo, but you let this donkey
He
go.
took my CDs. He took my CDs, but he didn't take the babies. But I was in the military, so that ended my career.
Yep, it's career.
That's what I'm saying. Because I would have let him come visit me one weekend out the month. I'm just saying, he just didn't, he rolled out. So therefore, when you get into an argument with the one that's the best one for you, when you get into a heated argument and then that person says something like a gut punch like, now I know why the other two left you. I mean, how do you respond with that except pick either one of them and you can go too?
No, see.
And then you wonder how
just
come you
said-
say that. I mean,
Because
that's
you were
why
taught
I...
to say that.
No, I wasn't taught to
I'm
say
gonna tell you
that.
how you
I
taught.
was
Watch
taught
this.
how to come back
Watch
very
this.
quickly.
Listen-
You're not going to
listen-
hurt me.
listen to what the
You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Listen to what the Reverend just explained to us so profoundly. We do what we see, just like children. Children do not do what you say. If children did what you say, you wouldn't have to repeat yourself.
Okay.
Children do what they see. So as a child, you saw certain actions and a certain mindset, even though it wasn't spoken. So grandma cutting that turkey, grandma never said, cut the turkey before you put it in the oven. She just saw grandma, and as an adult, repeated what she saw as a child, and the mentality permeated her own internalism and perpetuated itself.
Right.
So the idea of, I gotta do what's best for me came because you saw mama doing what was best. It wasn't wrong.
Actually, my dad was in the Navy and my dad rolled out.
Mhm.
Well, I have a
And he was
different
just strong.
experience.
But
And it is based on
when
experience.
when mine rolled out and left, I'm still the type of person that no matter how bad it's going, I'm not gonna go anywhere.
You
I'm
ain't gonna be the one to
dedicated
leave.
like that.
Mm.
I'm just dedicated like that.
So yours is more lip service. When you
When you say you can leave,
when you say stuff, it's
Yeah.
kind of like okay.
In an argument, you
No,
know.
I got you.
but they can't take it literal.
The reason
Right.
I say I've had a different experience is because I didn't have any role models of good marriages that lasted a really, really long time or any of that. I had very strong women in my family that were mostly single women, mothers taking care of their children who could do bad all by themselves and all that. And I always have been a strong woman. However, I saw what I did not want to become. So what happened is when I got into church and I learned the role of a wife and the role of a husband, I made up in my mind that when I got married, it was forever. There was no such thing as divorce. And so when I met my husband and he said he was interested, I said, there's some things I need to let you know. I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I'm looking for a husband. I'm not looking for, if I'm a rebound, you got the wrong person. I don't believe in divorce. So if you don't want to be married, you're still looking at the wrong person. There's things that I'm not going to do that I've seen other people do, and I don't want to do that. There's no out for us. So when you make that commitment and you're saying this is forever, then you choose no out. There's no divorce. So guess what? When something goes wrong, you're thinking, how can I make this better? How can I fix this? How can I work on this? You're not thinking, well, it's just this paper. I can just sign the paper and it's over. You don't have that. I don't have an out because I don't believe in an out. I believe that God gave me him and he gave me to him. So therefore, for the rest of our lives, we're going to make this work.
So what do you do when you come home and he's done packed all of his stuff and is gone?
I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is my mindset going into
I mean, I got that.
So-
I'm not going anywhere
so let
with
me-
my mind.
Can I address that statement?
Sure.
Because obviously we're going to have to do a part 3 on this.
We're
But-
gonna do a part 3
Yeah,
on
but
this.
from this statement now, it's I can't control you.
I can only
control me.
That's right.
And in my mind, there is nothing that I will do or say that will give you the idea that this isn't what I want. Some of the problem that we have as we're closing is this, is that we don't realize that there are words that go out of our mouth that can never be reeled back in.
That's right.
And there's a message that I preach called the power of words. And the fact that the enemy, imagine this, the enemy has a gun and the muzzle is called time. And what he does, any good person that hunts, okay, they like to make their own ammo.
Yes, sir.
They don't like
They
to
don't
go
like
buy
it.
ammo
Yes, sir.
That's right.
because they like the feel of their ammo. And so what the enemy now does is he takes all your words. Remember, the Bible says that there are angels waiting to take your words and perform them. That now becomes a principle. So the enemy takes words that you say, puts it in a muzzle called time, and have you ever wondered why certain times you're sitting doing nothing and you can hear what your mama said about you years ago, or something somebody else said about you that you can't remember who said it? So we're going to continue this. But as we leave, if you all enjoy what we do, if you enjoy what we're saying, if you enjoy what's coming across,
Subscribe.
please hit the subscribe button.
Right.
For real.
Hit the share button
Leave
and share it with
comments.
someone else. We don't think that this is a show. We also look at this as ministry, and so we joke, we laugh, we have fun and all that, but we want it to be impactful.
Thank you for joining Joyful Heart Praise.
All right.
We out.
Peace.